Good day, good people. It's Doc Favors here. Uh, I was trying to do this live, okay, and I still got to get with my son to work some stuff out. But we have the president speaking to what some is calling the first annual crypto summit. It's live on the Associated Press, him speaking with a few leaders. And I wanted to get some commentary about this because what we're in and what we're doing, all the things that we've been talking about in terms of entrepreneurship, business building. End of the day, you all, when I said you got to get out in front and see what the leaders are doing, you want to see what the masses are doing. And so for us, this video here is very important that we hear from the top down what's going on in the space as it relates to tech, tokenization, real world assets, oil. And so this is one of those updates slash Q&As, but I wanted to play some of this for you while it's hot off the press. So turn your volumes up. Let's listen at this right here. Let me just get this to when the president actually walks in. And you got some heavy hitters here, y'all. Gary Gensler is here and a couple other people. It's about 15, 20 minutes, but I'm gonna let some play and I'll come back in a minute. But I just want to get it recorded here for our community so we can make some important points. And then for those of you all who are interested in learning how we're stacking assets in this industry, in this space, you'll have that opportunity as well. So stick around to the end and I'll let you know how that goes. And let me see if this is it right here. I think this is getting close. Yeah, I'm gonna let it play from right here, guys. This is awesome. He was saying some good stuff too, guys. All right, I'll be back shortly.
Okay, it's a serious group of people here. If you're into the world of finance like I am, I love finance. There's a who's who with us today. It's amazing that you don't know some of these people, but anybody in finance knows every one of them. And I want to thank them for being here today. We're delighted to welcome some of our nation's brightest minds in finance, crypto, and technology ahead of the first ever meeting of the CFTC's Innovation Advisory Committee in Washington, D.C. This is a group of very smart people that are on a committee to recommend what we do. Right, Paul? They're going to be telling us a little bit. But I think Paul knows maybe more than anybody. He's doing a great job. We're all happy with Paul, I think, right? He's been absolutely fantastic. Crypto markets and the prediction markets and conventional finance to decentralized finance. The people in this room are ensuring that the future of commercial markets is pioneered and perfected right here in the USA. We're fighting a lot of other countries to control these markets and to have these markets and to profit and all the jobs and everything else created. And we're doing well. We're leading in every aspect, including AI, and we're leading by a lot. And we want to keep it that way. I want to thank the chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Mike Salick, for his tremendous leadership. And come here. Thank you, Mike. I didn't recognize you from so close. And thanks as well to a very special man, a man that everybody respected for a long time. Yeah, he's a man I wanted to do this job, head of the SEC. Chairman Paul Atkins, who's also doing an outstanding job in everything else he touches. He's doing a lot of things for the country, so I want to thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. We're also pleased to be joined by Executive Director of the President's Council with advisors with the digital asset. All of the digital assets are all put into one. Patrick Witt and many other top industry leaders, including Coinbase. Where's Brian? Brian Armstrong, CEO. He's one of the greats. Where is he? Where are you? Oh, you look well. You get much younger. You look good. CEO of International and Intercontinental Exchange, Jeff Sprecher. One of the things, a little thing called the New York Stock Exchange. He owns a thing called the New York Stock Exchange, quite a nice asset, right?
Yes, it is.
CEO of NASDAQ, Adina Friedman. Thank you very much, Adina. Great job you're doing. CEO of Robinhood, Vlad Tenev. Thank you, Vlad. Nice to see you. And CEO of Kraken, Arjun Sethi. And thank you very much, wherever you are. Thank you very much. Great group of people. We also have some others here that were We wanted them. It's where's Mike, co-founder of CEO of CTO and president of BitGo, which is a big deal in the world of that thing, that little thing that's happening out there. And Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Brad? Thank you very much, Brad. Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink Labs. Thank you very much. Good, Sergey. Good job. Arjan, you're here. Arjan?
I'm still here.
You're here? You haven't left? Peter Smith is here, and Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss have tremendous people, tremendous investors, brilliant people. Chris Dixon is here, and I think I've sort of got anybody I didn't mention, by the way. Pretty much got the whole group. Good. They gave me 4 sets of lists, and that's always a little complex. You never want to say one more than 3 times. Under the crooked Joe Biden administration, the spirit of innovation that built America was under serious attack like never before, and nowhere was that more true than crypto and other new financial technologies, where we were going to be taken to the cleaners by China and other countries. The radical left tried to crush these developments with crippling regulations, brutal restrictions, weaponization. They used weaponization, political weaponization, and constant targeting that drove innovation overseas, and they wanted to drive it out. And at the end of toward the end of the campaign, if you remember, they decided they liked it very much because there were over 100 million people that were liking Trump a lot more because I was in favor of it. They were against it, and they became very much in favor of it. But by that time, it was too late. And besides, those days are all over. That was a terrible period of time for a lot of very good, very honorable financial people. On day one, we fired Joe Biden's rogue SEC chair, Gary Gensler. I think we like Paul better. Do we agree? We like Paul better?
Thank you.
Number one, he's smarter. He's also smarter, by the way. But we fired him. We got him the hell out of here. We terminated the so-called Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is what the name of their operation was, weaponization. And we ended the war on crypto once and for all. And it's been booming. It's been doing big, and nobody's been able to break in. China would like to break in. They're still trying, but they have been able to. I signed a historic executive order banning any attempt to create a central bank digital currency. We launched Project Crypto to modernize rules so that our financial markets can move into blockchain technology. I established the United States Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, making Bitcoin a permanent asset of the United States Treasury, which has turned out incredibly well. I also created the United States Digital Asset Stockpile to hold custody of all other digital assets, and that's exactly what it's done. It's been amazing. 1 year ago this summer, I signed landmark legislation known as the Genius Act. I named it after myself. I didn't want to use my name, so I just called it the Genius Act, paving the way for widespread adoption of dollar-backed stablecoins, and that's worked out very well. Every single American benefits enormously from our country's status as the financial center of the world, and we want to keep it that way. We're leading by leaps and bounds. We've gained so much in the last 16 months like nobody can believe, actually. Not only that, but we have more money being invested in the United States than any country at any time in history. Money's coming in by the trillions. Our nation's economic dominance drives trillions of dollars in investments, creates millions of jobs, and expands access, credit, and capital so that every citizen has a chance to achieve what we now hear a lot about, the American dream. Young people are looking for the American dream. They weren't thinking about that 2 years ago. New financial technologies are extending this American dominance into the 21st century, and that's why we're focused on creating a clear regulatory framework for pioneers and builders like the people that are with me here, so that they can do business with confidence on American soil. They don't have to go to other countries to do their business. We're ensuring that America remains the undisputed leader, not only in Bitcoin and crypto, but also technologies like prediction markets, artificial intelligence, and much more. And we're leading in every single one. And I will tell you, the AI, the artificial intelligence, we're way ahead of number two. Number two is China. And I never want to underestimate China, but right now we're way ahead. President Xi's coming on September 24th. We look forward to it. We'll probably be talking about AI and a lot of other things. But we're doing tremendously well, largely because of people and some other friends of ours that are on the board, and they'll be here in 2 weeks, I understand. In May, Chairman Selig authorized the first ever true Bitcoin perpetual futures contract on a CFTC registered exchange, first time. I understand that Mike is also working to bring hyperliquid into the United States in a fully compliant and legal fashion. It's working very hard on that. We would really like to see interest rates come down. You know, in the old days with interest rates, many of you are too young to know this, but when we announced good numbers, interest rates would go down. And the theory was because the asset value became so good, it became so prime. But now when we announce good numbers, which we're doing all the time, they keep driving the interest rates up because they're so afraid of inflation. And they shouldn't be. They should allow interest rates to go down. When you announce good numbers, you shouldn't drive them up. They keep thinking that we'll drive them up to stop inflation, because success and growth does not cause inflation. Other things cause inflation. We inherited the #1 inflation ever in the history of our country from Biden, and it lifted prices and everything else, and we're getting them all down. But interest rates should be allowed to fall with the success of our country, not rise because of the success. But we're also on the very beginning of a revolution in fictional and financial. You take a look at some of the things that are being done on a financial basis and the financial technology that's the potential to create more jobs, opportunity, and wealth for all Americans. And that's what it's doing. It's creating jobs and great wealth. And I think that can't be better seen by the stock market. So we've had 80 in a short period of time, a year and a half. We've had 80 days where the stock market hit all-time highs. I have it look today. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't look. I don't want to look. But I think I hear it's good. But we've had 80 days, Jeff, where the stock market has hit an all-time high, and nobody's ever seen anything like that. And I think bringing it down to another level, and maybe a higher level from the standpoint of importance, 401ks have hit record highs on almost 40% of the time that I've been president of the United States, and that affects tens of millions of people. The 401ks are at record numbers. So 2 years ago, our country was dead, and now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close. No other country is close, and every country will admit it. So now we need Congress to take the next step by passing the Clarity Act, a fair version of the Clarity Act, and this landmark structure legislation. It's a very, very powerful structured legislation which will keep us ahead of China, keep us ahead of everyone else, will open the door to the next wave of innovations and innovators. So I'd like to ask Chairman Selig to say a few words and a little bit of the details about what we're doing, and then we'll follow it up with Chairman Atkins and Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, Intercontinental Exchange CEO Jeff Sprecher, Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, and Kraken CEO Arjan. So we have that all set, and let's get going. And you know what? If you want to speak for a very short period of time, that's okay, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here with you and this exceptional group of business leaders. Thanks to your leadership, the era of political lawfare, debanking, and regulation by enforcement is over. Innovators like the people in this room are welcome to the White House, not railroaded to the big house. And the new frontier of finance is being built right here in the United States of America. From day one, this president has been clear. America will not fall behind and allow other countries to take its place as the greatest country on earth to build a new technology, operate a business, and invest for the future. The world will run on the backbone of American technology. Under President Trump's leadership, we've codified the Genius Act, established a strategic Bitcoin reserve, drawn a clear line in the sand between crypto securities and commodities, launched the first U.S. crypto perpetual, and protected the rights of software developers. We've exiled Gary Gensler, defeated the anti-crypto army, and made the United States the crypto capital of the world. I'm proud to be working with Secretary Lutnick in the Department of Commerce as well to make America the compute capital of the world. This may be the most important commodity of our day. Some call it digital oil, and America needs to dominate these markets to win the AI race. We've also protected federally regulated prediction markets from rogue state attorneys generals like Letitia James, who seek to nullify federal law and drive these markets offshore to unregulated and foreign venues. American dominance in the technologies that will define the future remains unmatched. We are truly in a golden age of American innovation. Now, the United States has a choice. We can either write the rules that define the next generation of financial markets, or we can let other countries write them for us. With Congress advancing the Clarity Act towards the finish line, we stand ready to implement the bill once the President signs it. But we'll use every tool available to move the President's pro-innovation agenda forward in the meantime. Tomorrow at the inaugural meeting of the CFTC's Innovation Advisory Committee, I look forward to sharing more details on our regulatory path forward. A path forward that provides greater certainty for innovators while reinforcing confidence in our markets for decades to come. This President has assembled an extraordinary team of entrepreneurs, builders, investors, and business leaders advising in government, like David Sachs, of course, and Patrick Witt. This real-world experience has already brought valuable perspectives into policymaking, and it will continue to pay dividends for the American people. Innovation depends on regulatory clarity. Clear rules create confidence, confidence attracts investment, and investment creates jobs, strengthens our markets, and keeps the world's best talent building here in America. Mr. President, thank you again for your leadership and for making American innovation great again. The work we're doing now to shape the future of our great nation will do measures for decades to come. Now, I'm honored to introduce the most pro-innovation, pro-free market SEC chairman in America's history, and it's not Gary Gensler, of course. It's Paul Atkins. So, Mr. Chairman, please.
Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you, Mr. President, for having us here today. From day one, you've made our nation's financial dominance and innovation job one. We at the SEC are delivering on your agenda. We're making IPOs great again, to continue on your theme, by cutting red tape that discourages companies from going public. Under your leadership, Mr. President, the IPO market is booming. Since Inauguration Day, 583 companies have gone public, and that's up 75% compared to the final year and a half of the Biden administration. And those companies have raised an impressive $208 billion, and that's nearly 4 times the amount raised during the final year and a half of the previous administration. So that's just not incremental progress. That is a turnaround. You've committed to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. And yesterday, the SEC, I'm proud to say, took another significant step to deliver on that. Our proposal, the crypto assets rule, would provide crypto entrepreneurs like those here in this room and job creators the certainty to raise capital in the United States using digital assets. This action is consonant with our belief that the most important priority is for Congress to send the Clarity Act to your desk for your signature. And the SEC is doing everything we can to support that work. So thank you again, Mr. President, for leading this nation to ensure that we continue to have the strongest markets in the world, to reshore innovation, and to welcome, yes, a whole new generation of investors through the Trump accounts. So under your leadership, we will make sure that the greatest advances of the technological frontier are right here in America. So thank you very much.
Well, this morning I was thinking back to the 2024 campaign where the president, I think, very astutely recognized there was millions of voters in the United States who felt disenfranchised by the prior administration. And he made a commitment at that time to make America the crypto capital of the world. And within weeks of taking office, delivered on that promise. And it started first with this executive order, which came out ordering the agencies in his administration to take steps in this direction. He shortly thereafter appointed 2 of the most competent and pro-innovation regulators anywhere in the world, Chair Selig and Chair Atkins, and of course fired Gary Gensler. There was that big applause line at the Bitcoin conference, which was powerful. And of course, the Genius Act was another milestone just in the past year, along with the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, et cetera. And just this week, I have to commend Chair Atkins for publishing this new rule that allows crypto projects to raise capital in the US for the first time. There's clarity on that. And Chair Seelig, we're excited to attend the advisory committee meeting tomorrow to make progress there. So an incredible amount of progress has been made, and I think what's most important next, of course, is this September 15th vote that we have with the Clarity Act. This would make all of the progress that this administration has made durable into the future, so it could survive for decades and decades to come. And make no mistake, there are folks out there who they want to see this legislation not happen, right? Maybe some of the big banks don't want the competition from crypto companies. Other banks are leaning in and have endorsed it, which I think is really powerful. And so if we all come together, I think we can get this bill over the finish line and hopefully get more than 60 votes come September 15th. Thank you.
And it's very bipartisan, I would say. So
Very-
say that very much.
That is true.
A lot of Democrat support.
There's hundreds of pages of changes that have come in from the Democrat side as well. It's a true bipartisan compromise, and yeah, it's a great it's a great work product. So up next, I think, is Jeff Sprecher.
Sorry.
Thank you. Mr. President, I just wanted to tell you that, that your trade policies of fair trade to bring back jobs and businesses from overseas, your energy dominance policies to fuel the next generation of technology in the United States, your big, beautiful bill that created incentives for investments has led to the records that you're hearing about in our stock markets, the record number of IPOs. And as you know from working with my wife who works on private businesses, there's a record number of business formations in this country right now. So we're here to talk about how to evolve regulation so that we don't impede that progress. But one of the things I can tell you about the New York Stock Exchange is that it was formed at the time of our country. And so it, for 250 years, has been subject to every single financial services regulation that has ever passed in the United States, bar none. And so one of the things that I'm so thankful that you've done is put two really strong chairs in these seats and ask them to go through past legislation, regulation, and figure out what we can get rid of that no longer serves the interests of this country. And for that, I really appreciate that on behalf of the New York Stock Exchange.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Jeff. Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you for bringing us together and for your work to ensure the next generation of Americans has a stake in the country's economic success through the Trump accounts and many other things. Thank you also to Chair Seelig, Chair Atkins, your administration, for the work underway to strengthen American capital markets and expand opportunity for all Americans. If I had to sum up Robinhood in one word, it would be ownership. Broad ownership is essential to a free, stable, and prosperous society. That belief has shaped pretty much every product we've built, from commission-free investing to 24-hour trading, and now outside the United States to tokenization, which we're using to expand ownership of American assets to people in more than 120 countries. Yet this innovation is reaching investors abroad before investors here back home. And the opportunity goes far beyond public markets. Tokenization will open up markets that have long been out of reach, including private companies. Today, too much economic value is being created before ordinary investors get a chance to participate. Expanding ownership also requires protecting investors. Innovation and investor protection aren't opposing goals. America became the world's capital markets capital by doing both, and the chairs here understand that. American companies are building this technology. American markets are powering it. American assets are also at the center of it. American investors should not be the last to benefit. We look forward to continue to work together to expand ownership, build the next generation of capital markets, and ensure America leads the way. Thank you.
Great job.
Arjun.
Great job. Arjun.
Hello, everyone. I was thinking about what I was going to say today. Most of the time, I don't speak too much, but the first time I met the president, he said, "What does your company do?" And I said, we're a startup. We move at warp speed. And the first thing he said is, "Why not at Trump speed?" So we started acting that way. Look, our mission at Kraken isn't about Kraken. Brian created Coinbase. Vlad here, you have ICE, NASDAQ. They created the world markets. And all we're trying to do is make sure that everyone in America has the ability to be able to succeed in the same way that we did. And that's essentially how we think about it. So our motto at Kraken has been fix money, we fix the world. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Ray. And if you have any questions, or if anybody else of this very distinguished, would somebody like to say something? My male models who have.
Okay, so as you can see, you all, this right here for us is they're talking the language, first of all. And this is what I want to say here too is the political views here, whether you are for this administration or against it, I'm not here to talk about that, argue about that. So I know when y'all drop them comments, please bear that in mind. I don't really deal in the politics. I keep all that to myself, and there's a reason for that, all right? This channel is not necessarily on political, but one of the reasons why I posted this so that you all could see, I have so many notes right here, okay? I got a lot of notes that I took from the video, and I'm hoping that you all would watch this video over and over again, and so that you can take some notes and see as well, y'all, because at the end of the day, I'm telling you all this, something amazing is happening, and it's happening right before your eyes. And if you're not paying attention to it, then what's going to happen is you might miss it. All right. And so, first of all, some of the things that I have that I wanted to show you all. Well, I got the markets up and see what the coins are doing, but I just want to show you all. These are all the notes I took. And so, think about this. What we heard throughout the whole meeting, the SEC from Paul Atkins. They talked about the Clarity Act, the CFTC meeting, entrepreneurship, business, and investors, all of them in that room. You know, digital oil technology. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you all we're in a good place at the right place at the right time, when you talk about stacking assets in fintech, and I know some of you all have been burnt, you had rug pulls dealing with this industry, but you cannot give up on financial technology because that's where it's going. You heard the owner and founder of Robinhood, which I use, and I'll leave a link down there for that if y'all want to get in, because Robinhood allows me to do everything, man. Not even from buying my crypto to hold. I trade options on there. You know, I do a lot of stuff. My ETFs are on there. I do a lot of stuff with Robinhood, and I can actually do a video to show y'all how to use that. But he was talking about tokenization, how it's a shame that it is abroad. People benefit abroad from it before the investors and people like you and I can benefit here in America. And I just think that was a great point, you all. You know, so one of the things that was said is that the bill passed so that they can crypto, raise crypto capital in the U.S. now. Y'all, that's what RWAs are, them real world assets, tokenization, digitization. That's what all that is about, you all. So when we talk about crypto capital, AI, they calling it like this whole fintech thing, they calling it like the digital oil. That lets you know we're in the right space at the right time. All right. So I wanted to show this video. Hopefully you all got something. I can't wait to hear y'all comments down below. Once again, just keep it nice, y'all. You know me. I try to stay positive, but I know y'all opinions are your opinions. So I'm saying I'm not going to say that, hey, I'm going to police your opinions. That's not what I'm talking about. You can have your opinions, but if you got negative stuff to say, then I would refer or prefer that you do that on your channel. All right. I'm only trying to report the facts to build the case of why I am doing what I'm doing. And of course you are. That's why I'm so bullish on, you know, some of the plays that I'm doing as far as stacking assets in this space, in this industry. So if you're interested in some of that, just go down to the description below. It's two of them down. I'm gonna leave my Robinhood piece down there for you all because I get a free stock, you get a free stock. Then I'm also going to leave a link so that you can see a private meeting, a private presentation about what we're doing and how we're stacking assets. And then for you all who consider, you know, you just want to be in an industry that either can help you with your retirement or, you know, you want to do, or I should have did that. You want to do something that can, you know, just bring in more capital, bring in more cash so that you can invest in some of these instruments and some of the assets that they were talking about right here. Guys, it's a decision. And I wanted to show this so that you all can see, because think about it. Those billionaires in that room, when they talking like this, all they do, okay, let me just say that. This video verifies and it kind of backs up, if you will. It kind of concretizes what I've been talking about on this channel. And of course, you all can see I'm doing some different things because at the end of the day, I've been getting questions about this, about entrepreneurship, questions about leadership, how you develop the mindset. And so if you all are seeing, I'm making the transition with the channel based upon you all, based upon the community. So I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing certain things that I believe is important for us based upon your questions. So don't just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, hit the like, but leave the comments down below because I actually read those and comment myself. That's not a bot. That's actually Doc Favors talking to y'all. So when you leave those questions down there, let me know. And any of these subjects, you all, that's why I wrote them down, because look at everything we have to discuss now. We got to talk about this stuff. Private markets, private equity. We got to talk about this. How do we get into these financial markets? How do we see these things that's coming? Matter of fact, what's the next biggest investment that they talking about? Well, we got it. Y'all just leave it down there. And once again, if this information resonates with you and you want to start having conversations, once again, I was trying to record, I was trying to go live with this, but something happened with my system and it wouldn't take. And I had to do something. I said, you know what? I just need to get it recorded and then I'll wait and then I'll do it like I did today. So that's what I did. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Doc Favors. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave Doc a comment, and of course, share this, you all. I would love to get this video to 1,000 views. Some of the other videos is well over that, and I appreciate that. But this one here, guys, we got to get this out to the masses, because if you don't know, my heart and passion is this, not to allow our community to get left behind. You all rocking with me. Y'all been here. And I go find this information. I spend hours looking and sifting through this stuff to make sure that you all have a chance in this, an opportunity. Because remember, by the time these type of plays get down the market to the masses, you heard them talking about IPOs. By the time it get to the point where you can invest, the big moves that happened already, unless you are involved in the initial point or the initial startup, that's where we come in at. I'm blessed to be to be in a situation where I can talk about that. But y'all, if you want to know what I'm in, that gives us the ability to have access to business ventures that are IPOs, that's sitting on them, that's getting ready to launch before the whole world know, then you hit that link down there and check out that video that I got for you. And I know, I know you will be well pleased. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, we got some major announcements coming up. Y'all stay tuned, stay plugged in, and definitely leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next video.